All right, cool. All right, you guys know. Raise your hands and I'll call your name. You can start. We can go with Jay first from Game Elevate.
Okay.
Hey Jenkins, hope you're doing well and everything. Thanks for coming out to speak with us. So last year you were with Team Liquid, and now you have a full-time starting position on CLG. And I wanted to get your thoughts on how everything's been going so far, despite being 1-2, still showing some incredible gameplay.
So yeah, transitioning to CLG has been pretty exciting. It's been like a fresh breath of air for me personally. Have a new group of people that I've never worked with, like closely at least. So yeah, I think everyone's been gelling pretty well together so far.
Thank you so much.
Digon, you can go.
Hey, buddy.
Hey,
Hope you're doing
Digon.
well. So this was a kind of like a crazy off season. Can you kind of explain the story on how you ended up over here at CLG and how you guys have been gelling so far?
Yeah, so pretty much in the off season, I wasn't exactly sure if I would get a team, and luckily CLG ended up reaching out to me, and we had some conversations, and it ended up that I was a good fit for their team. Yeah, that's pretty much how I got into CLG. The team has been gelling very well, in my opinion. Everyone's pretty vocal. Everyone likes talking. Yeah, just like I don't know. It's hard to explain, but I think the team is gelling well, at least from my perspective.
Thanks, man.
Okay, next question comes from Xander from Nerd Street.
Hey, Jenkins. So my question for you is that Counter Logic Gaming has kind of had this denotation of being Academy superstars. So I guess I kind of want to get your thoughts on, I guess, that type of reputation and how you feel about the experience on the roster.
Could you repeat that question?
Yeah. So the broadcast has mentioned a few times like CLG's current lineup is like a lineup of Academy superstars, a bunch of players who maybe don't have as much LCS experience. So I guess I wanted to ask you, what do you think about that early reputation, and what do you think about, I guess, the level of experience on the roster so far?
Okay, so for me, I think that everyone on the team is very raw, and that with like time and experience that we can like overcome what other teams already have in their own veterans. Yeah, I mean, I think we're going at a pretty good pace so far.
Great, thank you.
Okay, our next question comes from Pedro, the click.
This is sort of a follow-up to the previous question, in line with the sort of team reloading itself for this new season. There's a sort of expectation that the team will hope to improve from like last season, given that, I mean, you guys finished like within the bottom of the table. And so do you feel like any sort of pressure in trying to improve in this tournament and also following that in the LCS?
Well, for me, the pressure would be like, I would like want to improve, not because of CLG's old reputation. So I don't really feel any like pressure in that regards of like trying to uphold or like restore like the glory of that. I'd rather focus on like improving the current CLG.
Okay, our next question comes from Digon.
So if you're not necessarily playing for the previous iterations of CLG, which is fine, right? That was a different iteration that wasn't there. What are you playing for you? Like what is the motivation? What is the drive? And what do you want Jenkins to be when you look back at your career, hopefully 10 years from now?
I'd like to be a pretty good top laner, but that's like the basic answer. But I don't know. I'd like to see how far, like how well I can actually do. I think that I can do well since I've been to like a bunch of different regions and like played against professionals there, but I'd like to actually like do it on stage rather than just on solo queue.
Next question from Jay from Game Elevate.
So I got a different question for you. I want to ask you a little bit about the meta. As we all know, teleport was massively nerfed, and we're starting to see a lot more of a combination of carries such as Gwen, like you played today, and tanks. So I want to kind of get your thoughts. What do you think about the current top lane meta, and is there something you like or dislike?
I actually really like the meta because pretty much you can play anything you want as long as like it either rounds out the comp or like just like the lane match is like just very good that it doesn't matter if it actually fits in the comp. The TP changes are pretty good, especially if you're on like the losing side of matchups, just because like if you like hold a freeze and like TP back, you end up like gaining more than the opponent.
Thank you so much.
Next question from Digon.
So you were saying how you've played for a while now in different regions as you've been able to go to overseas now a couple times with TL. And a question was posed earlier: this academy players playing with you. You're now kind of like switching into a different role in your career as like the older guy. You're no longer the young guy followed around Bob Chin and Jurassic and behind like all these superstars over Team Liquid. So how have you adjusted as you now have a different role in this team?
Well, on this team, I just feel like I have to like make sure I am able to not fall behind, especially like if I'm given resources. So especially like last game I was pretty, or not last game, the game against EG, I was pretty upset because of how Juan gave me some of his time to help me, but I ended up like not carrying through the lead. So yeah, I just feel like on this team, it's my job to be like stable and like, and if I'm ever given something, just not take it for granted and transition to carrying the team.
We have another question from Pedro from the clip.
Looking to how the team is performing so far in the lock-in, you guys pull off a win against Immortals before losing to EG and TL. And so, like, how are you guys going to approach this second week of the tournament? Or in other words, how are you guys going to approach this upcoming game against Dignitas in later on Friday?
Yeah, so I think we did a lot of good things in the EG and the TL game up until like, the game blew up. So as long as we just fix like one or two like things in our like game plans, we should be fine going into the Dignitas match.
Go for Digon.
When are we going to see the Kennen, man? Is Kennen still viable now that you can't TP flank within the first 14 minutes, or is Kennen
Kennen's
gone forever?
I mean, Kennen's still viable. Maybe we'll get a good opportunity to play it. And just like in that game, I just thought going to be good. So
All right, man. Thanks.
thank you.
All right, Jenkins, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you taking out the time to talk to us.
Yep. Have a good day.
Thank you too.